Hello, hello, hello. This is your message from the universe for 9/22/2020. This is the rune Awaz. Awaz is the rune of movement, but here it is reversed. Now, when this is reversed, what it's really talking about is recognizing that a pause is necessary. And we actually talked about this yesterday with the reading that we got as well, that these pauses that we take are necessary for our development. Really interesting thing is that yesterday we had the card for movement and the card for movement and card for non-movement. Today we have the rune for non-movement and the card for movement. And so it's really talking about being in this holding pattern and using it to your advantage. And it's really talking about how timely delays may be necessary, and recognizing that what is yours will come to you. You don't have to force the universe into the timetable that you think that you need things to be in. To truly connect and flow with the universe, you have to mold to its timetable, not to your own. So the only thing that we can do is be in a state of preparedness and to take these pauses as necessary and see what is going on. How can I change? How can I prepare? What can I do? Because we are the only thing that we can affect. And yes, our actions affect the rest of the world, affect what happens, affect what comes to us. And that's why it's so important for us to be very self-focused. It doesn't mean selfish, it means self-focused. Now, along with this, I know that this is always a very scary card to come up, this death card. This one in particular is not it's not a fun one to look at, but I have it here with this Two of Cups, and Two of Cups is usually the relationship card, like love, partnership, business partnership, family partnership, and it does talk about a death. Now, normally this death card is really about relationships ending, about one thing ending and another thing beginning. As we've been talking over the last few weeks, we have discussed the fact that we have this vision in our mind for what we want tomorrow to be. But for that vision of tomorrow to come to fruition, to come to pass, the way that things are now has to end. So this can be as simple as shifting the way that you interact in your relationship. Maybe what you've been wanting is a closer bond with your partner, and it's just you shifting the way that you think, the way that you interact with that partner. This Six of Cups is really about a long-term type of a thing, someone that you've known for a long time. It could be the ending of a friendship, or it could be the ending of a friendship the way it was and shifting into something new, changing the way that you do this, recognizing that perhaps the way that it is, it cannot survive. This is Eight of Cups reverse, regrets. And the Hierophant reversed is about bucking the status quo. It's about doing things in a different way. It's about changing the way that you view the world and changing the way that you walk through the world. Sometimes it's about betrayal as well by someone who is in power, someone who is controlling you in some way, because the Hierophant here, he's kind of like a priest type person talking about a position of authority. So for a few of you, this means someone who's manipulating you, that this is going to come to an end, or that you are going to recognize that it needs to come to an end. And this Eight of Cups is really talking about, sometimes it talks about let's try this a different way, but it can also mean looking at it and saying, is it worth trying in a different way? Should I try to do this again? Now, whatever you decide, however you decide, even if you decide to try again and it turns out to be disastrous or not, it doesn't work out, maybe you needed to do that again. You can only follow your heart. You can only follow those things within you where you are connected to divine and saying, what is the best thing for me? And sometimes we don't choose the thing that is best for us. Sometimes we choose the thing that's going to break our heart because we have our heart set on that person, on that situation, on that outcome. But sometimes we have to recognize that that may not be the best outcome for us. But it can take a lot of times of banging your head against the wall. It can take a lot of times of getting your heart broken by someone before you finally recognize that they may not be exactly where you should be, or that situation isn't exactly right. And having this was reversed and the Eight of Wands upright, talking about movement and non-movement, it's really about sitting in this space of should I stay or should I go? Whether that is a partnership, a friendship, even a family relationship. You may be thinking about moving out of your house. You may be trying to figure out whether you should continue speaking to someone in your family. You may be having problems, in that arena as well. Really, every choice you make, look inwards, sit in silence, ask your question, listen without judgment, and say thank you. You have all the answers that you need. You always have all the answers that you need right there within you. Practice listening without judging the answer while you sit in this holding pattern. It's not easy, but it is simple. Love yourself, accept yourself, listen to that voice within. You are beloved, you matter, you are loved.